All right. It's good to have everybody in class today. I want to welcome everybody. My name is Travis Martin. I've lost more than 100 pounds on this amazing program and kept it off and keep trying to get better for my Lord. So just bless the name of the Lord. I've been fortunate to be a part of tens of thousands of lives, a small part where we travel together and we reach our ideal weight range together, and then we maintain it together, and we do it all under the Lord. The Bible says whatever we do, whether we eat, drink, whatever we do it all for the glory of God, do it all unto God. And what a difference that has made in my life, and I know that it will make a difference in your life. There are just some days we don't want to do what we're supposed to do, but it's those are the days that really count, is when it's difficult. We push through the discomfort, if you can call this discomfort. Maybe we need a jack attack. But anyway, I'm embracing how people feel, even though I don't agree with it. Losing weight is hard. Losing weight is tough, Brother Travis. It's so hard. The struggle is real. I got news for you. If this is a struggle, eating 3 delicious meals a day and losing weight, if that's a struggle, tough times are coming. So, hey everybody, good to have you. Good to have you. We're going to get this thing kicked off. I promised that we would spend more time. That seems to be what's on the minds and hearts of our members, is needing help with meal variety. There's thousands of meal ideas out there. You won't ever use more than 20 or 30, but there's thousands of them out there. You're never going to lack in variety. At Shibboleth, we've done our best to eliminate all reasonable excuses. So if you have what you feel like is a reasonable excuse, odds are I have found a way to overcome it. So feel free to fire away. If you have an unreasonable excuse, you just probably don't need to be wasting your time or mine. Sorry to say that, but it's true. But anyway, it's good to have those that are truly looking to change, really want to change, want to live healthier, want to live a more abundant life in Christ. So with that said, we're glad you're here, whether you're one of our free community members or whether you're one of our lifetime members or partners. Thank you again to our lifetime members and partners. Without you, we would not be able to do what we do at the level that we do it, with the free one-on-ones, the great support team. I really believe that weight loss and wellness, if you're coming from a background of food addiction, weight loss and wellness requires more than knowledge, requires support. So I have to have my team, and if it weren't for our lifetime members and our partners, I would have no team. I would be doing this by myself when I got off work, before work, things like that. So I'm really thankful that we're able to touch more lives than we would be otherwise through our partners and lifetime members. Thank you so much. All right. Celia's having a Celsius, great drink. That's a freebie drink, helps burn body fat. Angie Page says being overweight is hard too. Amen. You got to choose your hard, right, Angie? So I always try to pick on myself. I like to turn the sword on myself. Too many times we turn the sword on each other. I like to turn it on myself. When I was over 300 pounds and I got started with my weight loss program, I thought it was hard, but I realized very quickly being overweight is a lot harder than doing what I need to do to lose the weight and keep it off. And I want other people to discover that joy. Do everything you do with joy in your heart. Hey, Tiffany, good to hear that. Ellen says, because of my habits and not being told the truth about food. Me too, Ellen. Saying we be brother and sister. Yep. Margaret says, thank you for your effort, the ministry, and helping all of us. Oh, it's my honor. It's the honor of a lifetime. I don't want to let any of you down. God bless you, Margaret. Thank you so much. Change, it can be difficult. I like to say this. Now, Lisa, I agree with you. I agree. But I've learned over the years, through the years, I'm still learning. I'm not a master of it. Definitely not an enlightened one. Change is hard. That's partly true. Change is easy. That's partly true. It's not all the way true. The real truth is right down the middle, but we all make our decisions in life based upon extreme views. So change, yeah, it is hard. I like to say this though, losing weight is easy. Okay. Then if losing weight is easy, why don't more people lose weight? Because it's easy not to. As long as we're psychologically, as long as we're telling ourselves that something's hard, it's going to be hard to stick to unless somebody's making us stick to it. The challenge with this is nobody's going to love you enough but yourself and Jesus to make you do this. Does that make sense, everyone? And when we're made to do something hard, we're not going, if we don't have to do it, we're not going to do it. So I like to say losing weight is easy. It's easy not to lose weight, but it's also easy to lose weight. I choose that easy because that easy gets me to where I want to go. It's all psychological, folks. All right, let's get this kicked off. Before we get into the food combinations, do you have any questions about the daily lessons that you're getting, the daily lessons that go to your inbox? And do you have any questions about behavior modification or nutrition in general? And please keep in mind that we have beginner, intermediate, and advanced members here. Beginners should do this a lot. You should stick to the basics as we learn more together. Hey, Nina, still new. Can you combine a 1 + 2 + 2? Absolutely. So when we're looking at our combination chart, let me share this with you. Now, the more types of food that's on a plate, the harder it's going to be to control calories. That's not the discussion here. What she's asking is still new. Can I have a 1 + 2 + 2? So in other words, can I have a lean protein and 2 different fibrous carbohydrate? So we will see that I can have a 1, 2 MCT and a 1 and a 2. All category 2s are interchangeable. Now, she could have lean protein, chicken on one side of the plate and broccoli on the other side of the plate. If she wants chicken and then broccoli, and she's willing to dial back the portion of broccoli and add some squash, she can do that. If she wants chicken breast and 1 slice of category 2 bread with some squash, that's 2 category 2s. You can have as many category 2s on the plate as you want, or any of the other categories, as long as it's the right category. Like you can have two different category 1s and 2 different category 2s. The challenge is you still have to operate with a portion control plate or following the portion control rule. So you'd have to dial back, like if you wanted chicken and shrimp, you'd have to dial back on the chicken some to get the shrimp on the plate. Does that make sense, Nina? But otherwise, you won't have any challenge with that. Awesome. I have a private question. I am experiencing extreme constipation since I've started this. Is this normal? I've tried Metamucil. It depends on your definition of extreme constipation. Everybody would define that differently. Unfortunately, a lot of folks feel as though having a bowel movement 1 time or more times per day is what's sought for. And certainly it is, but that's not constipation. Constipation is basically, last I looked anyway, clinically defined as no bowel movement in 3 days. Now, when you start this program, you might take a step backwards to go forward if you're eating more insoluble fiber. When you eat more roughage, that's not a laxative. Metamucil is not a laxative, it's processed fiber. X-Lax is a laxative. These aren't good. Now, if your doctor's told you to take them, go ahead. But the way to overcome real constipation or perceived constipation is the following. Stick with the program, continue to eat your category 2 fiber. If you are really constipated, you might for a few days want to make sure that you're not getting in too much fiber. Stay around 30 grams of fiber a day. When you start eating a lot of roughage is not water soluble. So it takes time to work its way through the digestive tract, through the intestines, etc. It works like a mini Brillo pad that you can't feel, scrubbing out all of that undigested matter. So stay with the protocol or go see your doctor. I am not a doctor. The protocol would be to drink your water, to make sure you get 3 eating episodes a day of category 2 fibrous carbohydrate, and to move. When people talk about taking supplements on a daily basis to get their bowel to move, I cringe. You need to be talking to your physician. Your body can handle eliminating waste if you go to eating right. If you're eating processed foods, sugar, starch, trans fats, you're going to experience more constipation. When you begin to eat whole foods and you get to moving and you drink your water, constipation will be alleviated. If you're still experiencing constipation, with your doctor's approval, I recommend the AdvoCare Herbal Cleanse Kit because it comes with the fiber packets. That's the right ratio of insoluble to soluble fiber. Then we consume that along with probiotics, and we will start experiencing more regularity. So that's my 2 cents. But if you feel that it's extreme constipation, time to go see the doctor. And what I would do is take my food list. You can go to myshibboleth.com. We will have perceptions about this program. We will come from a background, not this person, but we will come from a background of eating junk. Then all of a sudden we start eating whole foods that grow from the ground and animal products that roam the earth, animal foods that roam the earth. We go to eating that and we go, I believe this program's made me sick. No, you're actually probably having withdrawals of all types because you've been addicted to glycogen and poison and processed foods. So we can't have miracles in 24 hours. So we've got to get to eating right with consistency. We've got to drink our water and we got to move. If you're doing everything right, but you're a couch potato, you're going to be constipated more often than not. But I do recommend taking our food list to the doctor, because if you don't, the doctor is going to simply say, get off the program you're on if you're constipated. That's the quick answer. But if you say, here's the food list, tell me what on this food list I shouldn't be eating that Travis is telling me to eat, he's going to go, no, it all looks good to me because it's just whole food. Hope that makes sense. Hey, Julie Marandino. Some people do take magnesium before bed with a glass of water. I tend to just eat right, drink my water, get a lot of movement. I will begin adding hemp hearts and hemp flakes to meals, approved combination wise, as another resort. And then finally, I'll get the fiber packets out and start drinking the fiber packets with some probiotic restore. That usually does the trick for me. Any other questions? Bio coffee helps with regularity for sure. Hemp bars help with regularity. How would I incorporate that? example would be 1/3 of one hemp bar. It's a 12-inch bar. 1/3 of one hemp bar as a meal replacement each day. That can help. A cup of bio coffee as a half a snack. That can help. Any other questions? Great time to connect, get your questions answered, especially if you've emailed me and hadn't heard from me. The right approach would be to email our support team, info@myshibboleth.com. If you want to wait on me to finally get to it, I wished I could get to more of them, but we've got the support team, info@myshibboleth.com. And then we have these live sessions Monday through Friday. So a great time to get your question answered. And also you can ask privately with the Q&A button. Thank you, Joni. Chat on the website too. Thank you, Julie. Yeah. Private question. I lost 15 pounds and got strep throat. Had 4 rounds of antibiotics and steroids. Gained all my weight back. Any tips for getting back on track? Yes, get back on track. Whatever you did to lose 15 pounds, start over. Let's get started. So the best way to get started back for anyone, including myself, is a 16-hour fast, 3 eating episodes only, no grazing, 3 meals from your red column, 10,000 steps, tracked for a couple of days, you're back on track. You're going to lose 5-6 of it in those 2 days. You definitely need to be, of course, with your physician's approval, after a round of antibiotics like that, you need to be taking some probiotics. Anti means against. Biotics means life. Antibiotics doesn't only kill the bad bacteria that made you sick, it kills the good bacteria that keeps your immune system healthy. So you need very quickly to get on some probiotics, 3 eating episodes a day from your red column until you get that 15 back off. 16-hour fast, get a lot of movement. That'll do it. That'll do it. Sorry that you've been sick, and I hope you are feeling better. Christy asked, what is the rationale for canola oil in PAM versus olive oil? I've always heard and read that canola is highly inflammatory and olive oil is not. There's no rationale there. Canola oil is horrible for you. Horrible. Olive oil, if it's been cooked, isn't as horrible as many plant fats, but it's not good, especially if you're trying to lose weight. Olive oil is a long-chain triglyceride. It's best to use raw in its virgin state as a salad dressing. If you're cooking with it, it's not the worst oil to cook with, but because it's a long-chain triglyceride, you should not be cooking with it at home. It's not good for you. You should be using 100% MCT oil. I assume the question is, why do we approve PAM cooking spray when it is canola based? Because it's 0 calories. It's less than 5 calories a serving. So that's a negligible amount of calories. There are things that we approve of on this program that are lesser evils that allow you to live the lifestyle more practically. So you're not having a full serving of canola oil. You're having something that's almost 0 calories. But it's not good for me. You've said that, Travis. It's better than having 100 calories of canola oil. It's like peeing in the ocean. That's the only way I know to explain that. It's like peeing in the ocean. It's not a big deal. But that's the rationale, to make the program practical and sustainable. Imagine me coaching people to, at home in their natural habitat, to only utilize 100% MCT oil in their cooking. Imagine me listening to 100 people a day say it's too expensive, I'm not doing it. So I have to give them a lesser evil whereby they can still be successful, which is a cooking spray with negligible amounts of harm in it. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. What is the science behind one bio coffee by itself being a 0 on the weight loss meter, but is a -3 with a health-wise hot chocolate? There's no science behind it. Okay, so I consider myself only in regards to nutrition. I consider myself like a musician that can read music. That's the science. And that can also play by ear. That's a talent. So when we're looking at putting our program together, some of it's based on science. Some of it is based on what you will do instead of what you won't do. Okay. So we have meal episodes and we have snack episodes. We have meal episodes and we have snack episodes, 2 different things. So if one is wanting to have a snack, one bio coffee at 70 calories is a half a snack. I label it a 0 because I want you to know it's not going to hurt your weight loss efforts, but it may not help your weight loss efforts. Ding, ding, ding. So I'm trying to direct your, I'm trying to give you good, better, best options. So if somebody's constipated, even though it doesn't help with weight loss, it does help with wellness some, they could have a half of one by itself. They're going to get a little blood sugar spike, not something I want them to do all the time, hence the 0 on the weight loss meter. But if they combine bio coffee with a high protein beverage, now we've put 2 things together. What does protein do, everyone? Does protein speed up the fat bus or slow down the fat bus? Slows it down. So in that case, when you're going to have bio coffee as a part of a meal, and that part of the other part of that meal is a high protein, low starchy drink like Health-Wise hot chocolate or like Cocoa Ringa, I'm getting some more protein. I'm slowing down the fat bus. You're having it as a meal episode, then it is preferred as a meal episode. We're shutting down the fat bus. It's very low calorie. It's perfect. So I'm trying to point you in that direction if your goal is speedier weight loss, hence the -3. So it's more of a practical thing. It's like I can approve a Reese cup with 2 cups of broccoli, but I don't do that because who's going to do that? And besides, you won't stop at 1 Reese cup. So a lot of the program is not science-based, it's lifestyle-based. But we have a good underpinning of science. Science. I hope that makes sense. Great question. Anybody else? Any other questions today? Does bio coffee alone break a fast? Absolutely. Have always said that. Absolutely. Anything with non-negligible amounts of macronutrients breaks your fast. Bio coffee has non-negligible amounts of carbohydrate. Regular coffee has no macronutrients. Caffeine can disrupt autophagy a little bit, but I don't think enough for me to say that regular coffee would break a fast. Bio coffee will definitely break a fast. Julie Marandino says she uses 0-calorie olive oil spray. That would be better than 0-calorie canola oil spray. Non-negligible calories. That's why we approve of things like xylitol, monk fruit. People give us a hard time about it, but those are much lesser evils than sugar. Our favorite kava bar. We like to go to a kava bar here in St. Augustine, and we get our kava sweetened with 0-calorie sweeteners. And the kava bar owner is getting rid of our 0-calorie sweeteners. And the reason he says is that sugar alcohols and Splenda and such as that aren't good for you. So they're opting for 30 grams of sugar per beverage. I won't be going back. That's foolishness. Non-negligible amounts of sugar alcohol does the body good, doesn't do the body harm. Too much will disrupt your digestive system. Joan asked, can we drink real cow milk that has not been pasteurized? That's on you. You can do that. I don't know enough about non-pasteurized cow milk to be recommending it to everybody from a health standpoint. I know a lot of people believe in that because of, it's still got all the nutrition in it, hasn't been pasteurized. I'm going to leave that up to you. If you want to have another animal's milk, all milk does the body bad. There's no ding, ding, ding. There's no milk that's good for the human body. Zero. Now, I drink milk too. I'm just trying to tell you the truth. So again, I guess it depends. I've never had any. I would assume it's not real palatable. I would assume it's not tasty, but I may be assuming wrong. Are you having to add anything into it to make it more tasty? You just got to watch the sugar, because pasteurized whole milk is full of not only fat, but also full of sugar. If we come to class enough, we hear that sugar coupled with fat is a recipe for disaster, correct? So it depends. It depends. I need to know more to be able to give you a proper answer. Lots of probiotics is good. And are you adding sugar, Joan, to that? Yeah, it's whole milk from the cow, but okay, so if it's just straight milk, I'd probably consider that a superfood, category 6 superfood. That's how I would count it, because milk, or a category 4, let's do that. I would count it as a category 4. Next question. What is Shibboleth's stance on diet soda? Do not have them if you don't need them. They're not good for you. That's my stance on them. That's my stance on Sprite Zero. That's my stance on Diet Coke. That's my stance on Diet Dr. Pepper. That's my stance on Diet Mountain Dew. All diet drinks. Crystal Light, bad. All bad. We approve them. We don't say that they're great for weight loss and wellness. We approve them. Why do we approve diet sodas, everyone? What do you think? What do you think that reason is? Zevia diet drinks, really not good for you. Stevia is better than aspartame. I agree with Julie. Stevia-based drinks are going to be better than aspartame. Why would I approve diet drinks? It's a void replacement, right? So if you can do without it, you should do without it. Another example, bread make you dead. If I was dealing with perfect people, building the perfect program, and all the perfect people were perfectly disciplined at all times, I wouldn't approve of any bread. Bread makes you dead. But that eliminates 2/3 of my client base, because they do not believe that they can live life without bread. So we find the lesser evils that make the program practical, sustainable, and fun. Does that make sense, everyone? So we do approve of 0-calorie sodas. We do not approve of sodas that are sweetened with sugar, with processed sugar. Contrary to belief, this is due to the sugar industry attacking the aspartame industry and so on and so forth. Sugar is the culprit, not aspartame. A little bit of aspartame is not going to hurt you. you don't have or consume a little bit of sugar, go look at the last Coca-Cola. They use aspartame's much sweeter by volume than regular sugar. So they use just a little bit of it to sweeten the diet beverage. Wished we wouldn't have it, but if you need a void replacement, there it is. But you look in a 12-ounce can of Coke, it's like 30 grams of sugar. You've got fat bus city, high inflammation in the body. Sugar and starch is the reason for high cholesterol, chronic inflammation, many autoimmune disorders. It's not good. So they attack aspartame. They attack stevia. They attack because they got to put them companies out of business or they lose profit margin. So if we use negligible amounts of it because we need a void replacement, that's better than huge gross amounts of sugar. Sugar is the devil. Yes, and sugar, Mom, you're right. Sugar is cheaper. Yeah. Great questions today. This is fantastic. That's my stance on diet drinks. We don't love them, but we approve them for people who need them. For example, if I go to the movie theater and I got two choices in there. I buy a bottle of water, watch the movie, or get me a Diet Coke. Because if I drink that Coke, you got Fat Bus City for the next 2 days. So I'd rather have that Diet Coke and spare the fat bus. Cam asked, is there a way to wean off of sugar or just cut sugar cold turkey? Cut it cold turkey. Deal with your 2-day headache and move on. Be consistent with the program. Take your metabolism with consistency and evolution. Take it from a sugar adapted metabolism and turn it into a fat adapted metabolism. Never going to hear me to say stop your sugar usage slowly. I prefer a Saul to Paul conversion myself. Marie says, I'm proud of me. I have not had any sweet tea since February the 13th. Have only drank water except for Chick-fil-A diet lemonade one time. Great job. Good job. Way to go, Marie. It's good to have you a part of our Shibboleth family. Fantastic. Anyone else? Happy to answer. I love feeling of service and being able to answer these good questions. These are good questions. The more you understand about the program, the more you're going to fall in love with it. Quit dating diets and marry a lifestyle. And a marriage is this way. You don't cheat on it. So your diet's got to go. You need a lifestyle. And the more you know about your new nutrition partner, the more apt you are to want to marry it and stick with it forever. Giving up sweets has been the hardest thing for me. It's a craving for sure. Comfort. Also, sugar is more addictive than crack cocaine. But we do have void replacements. I highly recommend that you begin to fill that void rather than white knuckle your way through situations where you want something sweet. Choose void replacements that are sweet. If you're craving chocolate, there's tons of chocolate approved goodies that don't cause the fat bus. If you're missing your Reese cup, your Baby Ruth, your ice cream, we have all that. One of the things I keep trying to drive home, I wish it was like the Matrix movie and I could plug it into you, but I can't. I've got to catch you on a day where it'll actually resonate with you. Most days it won't resonate with you because everybody's trapped in their repetitive thoughts and don't listen to me. There's void replacements. So whatever I'm craving, there's a void replacement for that won't jack up my blood sugar and won't cause my cravings to go through the roof. So let's work on finding the void replacements for the things that you feel like you're having to give up. Where we put in our journal, it has numbers and some letters. And also when we put in our meal journals, it has how much about metabolism. What is a good number for that? Where we put in our journal. Yeah, I'm not understanding the question. I know there's metabolic points. That's kind of antiquated now. We need to replace that with something else. We started with metabolic points in 2013. You build your metabolic points, which indicates that you're building a good metabolism, a metabolism that's burning more fat. Your metabolic points are based upon the number of days you have perfect days in a row. And then once you have a holiday, you lose metabolic points, meaning you've weakened your metabolism. It really is kind of an antiquated feature of the journal. Let me look at, I can't think of what you mean by letters and numbers. Maybe if you'll expound on that a little more. Keith, from the looks of the label, it looks like Nature's Own 100% wheat should be approved, I think. Could you take a look? Yeah, we'll take a look at it. Since you gave me the link, we'll take a look at it now. Everybody will enjoy that, Keith. So, Nature's Own whole wheat. Am I looking at it right? Is this the ingredients? If this is the ingredients, this would be approved. It's 60 calories. Now, if you, it may already be in the library. I don't know if you've looked. But you can also post this in the We Fixed It group and get an answer on it. But I'm looking and it's no fat. It's under 1 gram of fat for sure. There's 9 net carbs. It would normally take 4.5 grams of protein to neutralize those carbs. You don't have 4.5 grams, you have 4. I wouldn't be, now if this went to Kim Shibboleth, she's instructed to be more strict than me. But I would probably approve 2 slices of this as like sandwich bread, 1 slice of it as a meal component, as a category 2. I wouldn't penalize it over 0.5 gram. I would actually just put a weight loss meter of +1, indicating that too much of this bread would hurt you. Does that make sense, Keith? So I would label it a category 2, probably a +1 on the weight loss meter to steer people toward the other better approved category 2 breads, but this one would work consumed in moderation. Did the way I explained that make sense to everyone? You starting to understand how I use the weight loss meter? It's to direct your decisions. Think about +3 on the weight loss meter, driving down the interstate at 55 miles an hour, and a -3 driving down the interstate at 85 miles an hour. What is a good void replacement for that after meal sweet craving? What is a good void? There's so many. Private question. There are so many. Could you tell me what you normally like to have sweet after a meal? If you don't mind telling me that, because otherwise I might be just throwing darts in the dark, because there's at least 1,000 different sweet options for after dinner. So if you could tell me what it is you feel like you're missing, I'd be able to better direct you. Anything sweet and chocolate. Well, I like Breyer's Carb Smart ice cream, the chocolate. That's a good one. Rebecca just mentioned that. That's really delicious. I like a chocolate Power Crunch bar. I like Help Smart pecan clusters and peanut butter patties. Now, if you've had too many eating episodes already and you just can't stop your darn self from eating, then that's a holiday. But let's say that let's say I skipped breakfast. Let me give you a couple of options. So I skipped breakfast, I had lunch, I've had 1 eating episode, And then I have my dinner, which says fish and squash. And then for dessert, I have Breyer's Carb Smart ice cream. I've had 3 eating episodes during the day. I've had 3 eating episodes during that day. That's terrific. Or if I had breakfast that was approved, lunch that was approved, dinner that was approved, and then I wanted an approved snack like ice cream for dinner, that's 4 eating episodes. Can I do that? Yes, I can. Will it slow me down some? Yes. Slowing you down doesn't mean stopping you. Sometimes you just need that treat. I understand. April says you can't have this right after a meal though, can you? Yes, you can. If you have not overconsumed your eating episodes for the day and you want to engage with that exchange, in other words, you want to slow your weight loss, not stop, everybody. Not stop. Not stop. Not stop. It doesn't stop your weight loss. It slows your weight loss. So I've had my dinner. So I had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, all approved, beautiful meals. After my dinner, I want my cup of Breyer's Carb Smart. I like the salted caramel, sugar, no sugar added. So I'm having salted caramel, no sugar added, a cup of it with my baby spoon. I don't have my little bowl. I got my little portion control bowl and a baby spoon. I eat with a baby spoon. Why do I eat with a baby spoon when I'm having ice cream, everyone? Cleo, I'll come back to this. Cleo, I hadn't seen her in a while. I'm glad she's here. She says, I learned if I just take one bite of something sweet after I eat, stops that feeling of needing to have a dessert. Good tip. Makes me feel like the meal is over. Good tip. So let me go back to this. This is a good lifestyle moment. So I had 3 eating episodes, and then I had my 1 cup of Breyer's Carb Smart, or half a cup. You don't have to go up to the limit. Half a cup with a baby spoon. And I have that. That's 4 eating episodes. It doesn't matter when you have your snack. You are allowed an approved snack for mental cravings. Now, it's lawful, but not expedient. Don't have it unless you really need it. If you feel, hey, I've got to have this ice cream because it's going to self-medicate me, then you go right ahead. But if you've already had your snack, already had your eating episodes for the day, then you do more. Got to call that a holiday. And that's fine because we get 6 holidays, 12 when we're in May. Next question. Does the WOW challenge of eating 3 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches really reset everything and get you on track in one day? I would not say reset, okay? A WOW challenge means war on weakness. I came up with one-day challenges for myself that were quirky and weird and fun. And once I proved that they worked, I added them to the WOW challenges. Some of my clients then started suggesting their favorite foods, and I would put those together in a war on weakness challenge for them. It's a great way to break up a mental pattern that says, I hit a plateau. And to most people, a plateau means they didn't lose weight in one 24-hour period. Yes or no, everybody? Right? You think, I hit a plateau. I didn't lose weight yesterday. A plateau means you haven't lost weight in 3 weeks and you've been doing everything right. That's going to happen too. That's why most people don't lose weight and keep it off. They quit at the first sign of trouble. Those that don't quit, like Diane Malone, she don't quit at the first sign of trouble. That's called persistence. Continuing to move forward even when you don't feel like it, okay? Even without any evidence. So this question is, does 3 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches really reset everything? Not as good as 3 turkey sandwiches would. But I did that one as a worst case scenario for someone who loves peanut butter to prove points, all right? So if I have, let's use the bread that Keith brought up. That's 120 calories that's approved. If I have 2 tablespoons of peanut butter on that bread, I've got 320 calories in a meal. 3 of those meals in a day is 960 calories. I got enough protein. I controlled the fat bus. Am I going to get good results from following that War on Weakness challenge? Exactly, everyone. Next question. A handful of M&Ms from my student's treat jar. Okay, great one. I've got the perfect replacement for you. It's called Atkins peanut candies. They taste just like M&Ms, but instead of sugar, it's sugar alcohol. And if you will eat one at a time instead of a whole handful at a time, they'll last a while and you'll do good. Now, if you start having more than 1 pack of them, we might have a little poopy going on. Might be pooping a little bit. Kids will laugh at that too. The teacher might be farting if you have more than 1 pack of the Atkins M&Ms. But there's your void replacement. Y'all, someone asked me yesterday, how do you retain all this? Because I'm my own client. I want to find my void replacements. I don't like living without. I don't graze, I don't overeat, but I don't like to give up things that I like. So I have found a void replacement for almost everything under God's sun. And what I couldn't find one for, our beautiful clients have, our lifetime members and partners have. Joan, last night at Red Lobster, one of my favorite. Last night at Red Lobster, I had grilled shrimp skewers, broccoli, steamed, and a house salad with no dressing. Do I count it as a 1 and 2? Everybody, let's all work together here. Teaching moment. The bell means stop thinking and listen to me. Because the thread over here is nothing but your thoughts, right? So Joan's got a question. Chris is right. Joan, it's a 4 plus 2. Jennifer's right. It's a 4 plus 2. You did a beautiful job. That's a great yellow column meal. Why is that a 4 now, everyone? We ate it at a restaurant, and it's likely that they're using plant-based oil. They didn't dry grill it. When Julie's right, when we don't know, we think worst case scenario. When we don't know, we think worst case. So worst case is it was probably a plant oil like olive oil or maybe even it may have been just butter. It doesn't matter. Shellfish is a 7, but it becomes a 4 when there's a fat cooked into it. Now, if she counted it a 1 and 2, she didn't get any less results than she would as a 4 and a 2, actually. Still had great results. But when it's a 4, it's letting you know that on that plate, you cannot have what, everyone? That 4 signals there should be no what, and what on that plate. No 3, no 5, and preferably no 6. Now, things can be classified more than one way. So let's say that on her salad, there was a tablespoon of category 3 corn kernels. Could she do that? Yes, April, it would be a condiment. It's only a full portion that becomes a category 3. Anything can be used as a condiment if you only use a smidge. For example, cranberries aren't approved except for as a condiment. But you have to be careful because this isn't like rollover minutes on a phone. If you don't use condiments at your breakfast meal, it's not a calorie program. So if you don't use condiments on your breakfast meal, it don't mean they roll over and you get to use 2 on your lunch, okay? Takes a little while to learn this system, but can some of y'all that has stuck it out with me for a month, can you see how this really can be an amazing and powerful lifestyle that empowers you? Nothing you can't have on Shibboleth. It's just about learning Planet Shibboleth culture. Works for everybody, no exceptions. There's no exceptions. The only program this doesn't work, won't work, it even works for atheists. It'll work for atheists, it'll work for agnostics, it'll work for Christians. The only type person that this program won't work for is an unreasonable person. That's it. Is it better to cook with MCT oil or not? Also, are the Walden Farm salad dressings considered a condiment or a freebie? They are a condiment that you can use freely. Now, I wouldn't say they're a freebie because we would never uncap it and, okay, I need a freebie. I need something for my mental cravings. Let me drink some 0-calorie Chipotle ranch dressing. If you wanted to, go ahead. There's actually a lot of calories in that bottle. But when we use a proper serving of it, It's basically something we can use without worrying about it. Okay. Now, to cook with MCT oil or not, that's your decision. You see, everybody, that's your decision. We have good, better, and best rules. So let's take a look at this and let's unpack this. And we'll close with this as our final lesson point. Look, to cook with MCT oil or not. Here I have a 1,2 MCT, and in the yellow column, I have a 1 and 2. Which one would be preferred according to this chart would be preferred for fat loss? The red. So if we're cooking a category 1 or a 1 and 2 or a 7 or 7 and 2 or a 1 hemp hearts hemp flakes or 7 hemp hearts, it would be better to use MCT than not use MCT. Why? MCT oil gives you energy without giving you insulin impact. MCT has a metabolic sparing effect so that while you're losing weight, your metabolism isn't diminishing. So MCT oil, when you're at home and you're cooking a meal at home that calls for oil, you should be using MCT. If it doesn't call for oil or you don't need oil, don't worry about it. Having a 1+2 versus a 1,2 MCT, the weight loss effects are going to be mildly different. One, you're getting a few more calories, a little more energy, but you have a muscle sparing effect. Whereas over here, your body would lose a little bit more muscle without the MCT during weight loss than it would if you had it with the MCT. Thanks, Julie, for coming. Okay, I posted 2 pictures on Shibboleth Lifestyle. You can answer on it later. Oh, you posted in the group and you're asking me to comment in the group about your post. I will try to do that. Or one of our team members will. All right, I think that's the last one for today. We'll make sure no more private ones, no more private ones. How do we do today, everybody? Is all hearts and minds clear? Everybody satisfied? I don't know if Natalie's still with us on the page, but says I haven't found the bread for the PB&J challenge. You can use any category 2 bread for that PB. We need to update that. Wow. All right, y'all. Thank you. Have a beautiful day. Perfect day. God bless you. Kimberly, good to have you. Please let us know how we can help. We all are learning and growing together. Friends helping friends. Great to have you.